Let me start with this question. What is your first impression when you hear the phrase nuclear energy? When people think of nuclear energy, it reminds them of this, and this. After the Fukushima nuclear disaster caused by a tsunami in 2011, people in Taiwan have become increasingly fearful of walking into the same path as Japan. Similar to Japan, Taiwan is situated on a ring of fire, a path along the Pacific Plate categorized by its frequent earthquakes. And all of Taiwan's 4 nuclear power plants are located on a coast in order to pump seawater to cool down the reactors. Widespread anxiety towards nuclear energy prompted the Democratic Progression Party's government to pass the Electricity Act, a hard deadline for Taiwan to completely abandon nuclear energy for power by 2025. Although this seems to be a reasonable act to pass, such a fast transition actually brings dire consequences to Taiwan. Taiwan's reliance on deadly fossil fuels. First of all, Taiwan is lacking in energy alternatives for fossil fuel. According to the Bureau of Energy, Thai Power generated about 4.1% of energy through the combination of wind, solar, water, and other renewable energy sources last year. Contrastingly, almost 90% of all energy generated came from fossil fuel burning. Moreover, Taiwan is currently emitting more than twice as amount of CO2 than the world average, placing it as the 22nd most CO2 emitting countries in the world. To provide context, Taiwan is the 140th largest country in the world. To understand the impact of such high CO2 emissions, it is important to compare it to nuclear energy and renewable energy for reference. Fossil fuels lead to deaths in 2 main ways: air pollution and accidents. Recent studies have shown that at least 500 million people worldwide die prematurely of air pollution, and the elimination of fossil fuels is able to cut such deaths by almost 2/3. That is 300 million lives saved per year. Moreover, the mining of fossil fuels is also dangerous, leading to hundreds of deaths per year. This is a graph from a study published in the renowned medical journal The Lancet. It shows that fossil fuels, which consist of the top 5 categories, cause a total of 83.22 deaths for every terawatt-hour of energy produced. Taiwan produces about 223.2 terawatt-hour of energy using fossil fuels per year, and that is a shocking 18,574 deaths per year. In comparison, if all energy is produced using nuclear energy, there will only be 17 deaths, and it is even lower for the renewable energy counterparts. NASA Goddard Institute even estimated that nuclear power has prevented some 1.84 million deaths that would have occurred had the power been generated by burning fossil fuels. That is 370 times more than the total number of deaths caused by radiation or accidents in nuclear power plants. While nuclear energy can be dangerous, it is by no means as deadly as what Taiwan is relying on right now for energy, and matters will only get worse if Taiwan abandons nuclear energy. Costs. Abandonment of nuclear energy will only lead to more healthcare costs, as fossil fuel burning must compensate for the decrease in energy production. Such health risks include chronic lung diseases, cancer, asthma, and cardiovascular diseases, all of which are costly to treat. As Taiwan health insurance is provided fully by the government's tax revenue, every Taiwanese taxpayer must pay for the increased health costs from fossil fuel burning. In addition to costs due to environmental and health risks that can cost billions of dollars, Taiwan needs to buy more CO2 emission permits from other countries, putting stress on the already strained national treasury. Moreover, the construction of new nuclear power plants has already cost Taiwan 320 billion new Taiwanese dollars, and that is equal to 12,000 new Taiwanese dollars paid by the average taxpayer. With the more efficient and safer nuclear plants near the end of construction, why should Taiwan lay billions of dollars to waste? To be honest, nuclear energy is not the most sustainable energy source that exists. The possibility of nuclear accidents, although very small, is still capable of harming thousands of people. Moreover, nuclear raw materials such as uranium are among the least abundant elements on Earth, raising questions on its sustainability. The best energy alternatives are the renewables: solar, hydro, and wind power. Not only is it even safer, the materials needed are simply provided by nature. However, renewable energy can only generate up to 4% of all energy consumption in Taiwan, and it is unlikely to see a significant increase in the short run, especially not by the deadline of 2025. The renewable energy infrastructure right now is simply not yet sustainable to facilitate a complete transition out of nuclear energy without the massive usage of fossil fuels. Considering everything, a nuclear-free Taiwan by 2025 is not feasible, and a better solution should be implemented. Taiwan needs to experience a complete reduction of fossil fuel burning while increasing the reliance on more efficient nuclear energy. At the same time, use the money saved in the process to develop the renewable energy sectors. This includes developing the technology, building infrastructure, and putting in resources. Only then, Taiwan can phase out nuclear energy. Before renewable energy can compensate for Taiwan's energy consumption, nuclear energy is still its best bet. If such a solution is not implemented, we may be likely to lose the beautiful landscape of Taiwan.